Λοιπόν, γεια σου Μιχαηλόβιτς μου.
Έλα ρε φίλε.
Λοιπόν, σήμερα έχουμε ένα διαφορετικού είδους podcast. Ένα podcast το οποίο θα είναι μόνο στα αγγλικά. Και καλεσμένο μας έχουμε τον κύριο Τζακόπο Αλμπέρτη, τον πρώην βοηθόν προπονητή στο ΑΠΟΕΛ, τον βοηθόν του Τραμετσάνη, ρε Μιχαλή. Hello, Τζακόπο.
Hello, guys.
Good morning, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks. You?
Fine,
All
fine.
good, all good.
So you are the assistant of Mr. Tramezzani at Apoel in our last championship year. Is that correct?
Correct.
2018, 2019.
Correct.
Can you tell us a bit about your role in Apoel at that time?
Yes. To be an assistant, you have to study all the things that the coach want to improve every day. So you have to study technical details for training. You have to study your opponent. You have to study your players because it's the most important things. Study how they grow up, how they train, how they feel. You know, you have to analyze 25, 30 people every day, and every day every player have a different idea, a different feel, a different way to work, going to work. You have to study how they came to the pitch, what they think. So is a great job, but you have to study many things, and it's very difficult.
So, as I understand it, is a job which means that you work not only at the training ground, but you need to work on your office also, eh?
Yes. When you are on a training ground, you are on relax
Okay.
because you have to prepare the training, and is the most important things, because I always say that player have one match every week, but as a staff we play 6, 7, 8 times a week because training is our match. Okay.
All right.
So all the components that build up a training is the most important thing for us, and we have to analyze technical, mentally, and the physical part of the team and of every single player.
Even mentally, eh? So if a player had an emotional breakdown or was sad or something, was it factored in a big way, as πούμε, in your decisions about putting that player in the starting 11?
I think mentally is the most important thing, not only in football but in life and in every work. And I think there is not a specific way to analyze, but normally you have to be able to look and understand the moment. You know, break down out of the team, maybe not, or maybe yes. It depends from the player or for the moment of the season, no? Sometimes you put one out of the pitch and he goes more down. So maybe
It's
you
better
have
to keep him. Yeah,
Yes.
playing.
Sometimes you have to wait some players. Sometimes you have to push. It's a different way to work, but there is not one way. You have to analyze how Souza stay, how Savic stay, how Belek stay. No, you know.
So, Μιχάλη,
Every
δεν
day
ξέρω αν έχεις
new
κάποια ερώτηση.
challenge.
Yeah. So Jacopo, basically you use lots of videos, I guess, right? For example, you also analyze each player's performance at the previous match, let's say.
You analyze everything. You analyze our opponent as team, as defense, as midfield, as forward. You analyze every single player of the opponents,
So you
and
have
then you analyze also our players, our matches, our training.
So you are given videos of each coming opponent. So you analyze it before and you say to the coach, check this out, check that out, and stuff like that. So he's prepared also to build the team according to the opponent as well, right?
Yes, the correct work for me is to analyze. The most important thing is to have the chance to see the last match of your opponent live, because on TV is not always good because you have different feelings
Yeah.
from the stadium or something like this. But you have to analyze and go to the coach and tell him, Coach, this team is good in this way. This team is not good in this way. For me, we can do these things to score or to defend correctly. He analyze and he decide the way to play. But
How
after
open is
maybe,
Sorry.
after many times you work with the coach, you know his idea, so you know better how to look, how to propose your work.
How open is Mr. Tramezzani to your suggestions or every assistance or coach suggestions?
So Paulo for me is a friend, first of all, and I always speak in open way with him. But you don't have to forget one thing. Last decision is
It's always on the
decision of the
coach.
coach. Yes. So I propose, he accept, he refuse. Is a normal way to work. But if you want to be a great part of a staff, you don't have to make your job as he asked to you. You have to stimulate his mind. And it's more important to say, no, coach, it's not a good way. It create a problem to solve, because you have to analyze and keep some things that it doesn't see.
So Jacopo, is Tramezzani a good listener?
Yes,
He is.
yes.
Okay.
But you have to be able to propose what you want to propose.
All right.
You have to understand the right moment.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
pressure
gonna
for
tell
him
you, yeah. I'm gonna tell
every
you
day.
I'm gonna tell you what was I like Tramezzani. I think he was a good coach, but I had some objections regarding a few things. I think that he's a very strong-minded guy.
Yes.
You really have to find a way to convince him about what you are proposing to him. Otherwise, I think he's not going to accept it. Is that right?
Oh, I can speak about my experience.
Yeah, of course.
So it is important to make a relationship with him. And if you are true, if you speak clear, he's always open to talk.
Oh, okay. That's important.
And I think we don't have to forget that if I propose something, it's for everybody. Because as I told him many times, after one match, it's impossible that you win and I lose. We lose, we win, and we draw together, no?
Yes. Yes, you're right on that.
So what is your philosophy on football? How would you like football to be played?
I think a coach today doesn't have a philosophy, but we have to be prepared in every aspect of the football, and we have to be able to
Adapt.
to the player that we have. So, in my opinion, 4-2-3-1 is my favorite tactics. Okay, but if I have three strong central defender and two lateral, like Emilio and so in his first season, is not a lateral, is a defender and midfielder, a striker, you have to change your idea, no?
Because
Do
when
you
he
like
was
at-
playing at
Claro.
Apoel, sorry, he used to apply this system 3-5-2, I think, right?
Yes, not for the beginning, but after few matches we start with 3-5-2.
Because I remember we had, I think Natel on the one side, and I think we had,
Yes.
and we had that guy Tamari on the other
Musa.
side. Yeah. So they were like, I think that was a good system because they were fast players, and they had this. It was easy for them to penetrate the defenses from the wings. So I think it was working quite well at Apoel that period. What do you think?
I think that when you have two strikers as Musa and Leo, you have to stay quiet in the bench because you know that normally they score minimum one goal. And they are so fast. They can run 100 meters with the bolt. So you have to understand how keep them in the field to try the best of their characteristics. And so,
So
probably
what
you
did
have
you
to
try to
stay.
do?
You have to stay 20 meters down because they need to see the pitch in front of us, in front of them. They need to find the space and to attack, not stay still in the space, but to arrive in this right space. So we work in this way with them. And then you have Lucas that is at midfielder, go inside.
Yeah, box to box.
Your life is simple, eh?
Your life is simple with Lucas Souza.
With Lucas, with Natel, with Musa. You don't have to invent anything. You have to put the player in the right position.
Jacobo, let me ask you this. You may choose not to answer, I don't know, but when he was at Apoel, you remember we had Zahid, Kaya Zahid. You remember Zahid? He was not
Yes.
choosing Zahid. And we are all wondering why Tramezzani is not choosing Zahid. He was the most technically gifted player of Apoel. Of course, football is not only about being technically gifted, but we're all wondering why he was keeping him on the bench all the time.
So first of all, I have to say that to coach Zaid was a pleasure because you saw Zaid in the pitch. I saw in the training, and it seems he has the hand instead of the foot.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
But you can play with 11, and maybe our choice was starting 11 is not for him. During the match, he can find more spaces because he was a very technical player, but he's not so fast to counterattack, and is not so fast to come to defend. He's
So he
more,
was-
brilliant in his brain.
Yeah.
He saw what happened in the pitch 1 minute before. But when
Even
you
though-
are Natel and Musa, you have to use them.
Whatever they say, they cannot say anything about their stats. It was the best year for the three of them. Δηλαδή, Natel had 10 goals, 4 assists. Tamari had 9 goals, 12 assists, which was his career year, let's say, in Apoel. And even Gaias, who wasn't playing every match for the full 90 minutes, had 13 assists. It was his best year in Apoel, even though he wasn't playing so much. You use them in that way, in such a way, which maximize their attributes, let's say.
Potential.
Yes, it's like to play poker, no? You have to use your card in the right moment and normally you study how the match can go. So first 30 minutes I want to attack or defend in this way. If we go 1-0, I make some different, and you have to use your card in the right way. Also, we have Roman Bejak.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
not a striker, very strong,
Yes.
very fast, very aggressive. Intensity is important in the modern football, and when we come to Cyprus, we saw that not all the teams are so intensive.
Can
What
you
do you think? Yeah.
Sorry, Michele, can you explain us the term intensive? What does it mean? What does it entail in football?
For me, intensive. I mean, you have to play with all the power you have in every time of the match.
Like what Liverpool does, for example, right now.
Yes, like got Liverpool. They change every year something because in the last 2 years they use more the ball that for instead of 5 or 6 years before. But you have to push every time of the match because you don't know how the match goes. Football is very strange, you know. I saw 2 days ago Inter under 17. 70 minutes they won the final championship 2-0. After 5 minutes they lose 2-3.
Yeah. So you have to keep the same kind of motivation throughout the whole match. I mean, if you rest for a few minutes, that's it. You may lose a game.
Yes, and I think also to my opponent play against a player like Musa, like Leo, like Roman is very difficult mentally and physically.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine I am a defender, minute 65, 70. I'm tired. They run so fast.
And that's where you want Zahid now to give that extra ball, come from the bench, give that.
And now is a time.
Okay.
More
Can you
spaces,
tell
more
us?
quality.
Can you tell us what happened with Ensue that year? They had a fight, and he kicked him out of the team. I don't know. It was like a surprise to all of us. Like, for example, because Ensue was like one of the favorite players of Apoel, and then one day we've heard that they had a fight in his office, and that's it. We never seen him again. We had him after 2 years later, but I mean that year it was very strange because he was a very important player for Apoel.
He was an important player, yes. I can answer to this question because I think if after 2 or 3 years you still don't know, maybe something that I can say in this way.
Okay, because we've heard rumors now. I don't know that they.
So you have to imagine to be a coach. Imagine why you can't keep one player like Emilio in the team. Maybe what do you think is the one correct?
Yes.
It should have been a strong argument. They had a strong argument then between them. I don't know.
Listen, Cyprus is a very small place. Every Apoel fan knows some version of what happened, but which was an extreme situation, let's say. This is how it was described to us. But let me ask you this: in Tramezzani, he's portrayed in the media as an explosive character.
Yes.
You are his friend. You are his assistant. What do you think of him? Can you tell us who is the real Tramezzani?
I think that is quite different than you know him, but I think every coach is different in the bench, on the press conference, or at home. He leave the match like player. For intensity, for the attention you have to put after 90 minutes like this. You have to sit down and answer to maybe 10 questions.
Yes.
Okay, but 8 of these 10 questions are not talking about football. It's difficult.
So in his daily routine, as πούμε, daily interactions with his staff, with his players, he wasn't as explosive as they were portraying. He was calmer as a person, you mean?
It depends from the moment. It depends from the moment. When you lose two games,
Yes.
okay. he can be calm. It depends on the moment. He's the first motivation come from him.
Yes. Πάντως, he was the most stylish coach ever in Cyprus. Huh? The guy had style for days. Δηλαδή, okay, he definitely came from Milano.
So you have to know him better. He is a great. I always told him that he the most prepared coach that I saw in my life.
Oh, okay.
Tactically,
so he studies a lot before the games.
Tactically, is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Really
Do you think that that's because, as we said before, he's a strong-minded guy. Maybe do you think that's his limitation as well? So sometimes he doesn't water his wine. Let's say if things are not going wrong, change some things around. He's gonna live and die with his philosophy, or it's not the case? He's more adaptable than we think.
I think he's more adaptable than you think. But you have to imagine to go in October in a team that normally win the league, because Apoel won 8 or 7. 7
continues. Yes.
7 continues. Yes, and to arrive and you have 8 or 9 points from the first team,
which was Apollonis at the time.
Yes.
You have
that
to...
we beat 4. It was the only season we beat him all 4 games. I think we beat him all 4 games that season.
Yes. You have to be clear with the players. You have to make the process to know each other more fast, because you don't have 1 month to work in the pre-season with your team, no? So they have to know you strongly.
Jacopo.
And they do it.
Let me tell you this. We are still wondering what happened. You remember we lost the cup final against Style?
Yes.
You remember that? And we are still wondering what happened before the game. A few days before the game, he said that I don't know where I'm gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be my last match, and things like that. And these things that he said, they were very unexpected. They're very unexpected. I don't know if what he said before the game, it was a bad period for him. I don't know what happened with Tramezzani, but I think that affected the team at the cup final. Do you think that's true?
No, I think that...
Because why are you going to say these things before a cup final? Why don't you wait until the final is over and then come and say to the media, that was my last game? Why do you bring in this thing before the game, a cup final?
I can suppose. I can imagine. To know him, I can say you maybe...
Is it pressure?
No. I think he's clear. If you ask him before the final, are you here the next year and my contract is finished, normally I have to say you, I don't know. He don't joke with
but I'm going to tell you why. Because he was a guy that he gave us the championship. People, I think the most of people loved Tramezzani because of his passion, because the way he was playing. And suddenly, fans, they felt like, oh, he's betraying us now. Why is he bringing this thing before the cup final? And I think that created a negative atmosphere in that game. That's my opinion.
You speak me about the atmosphere around the team, but if you analyze his words in the team, maybe have another effect, because 2 or 3 match before we play against the same team, changing 10 or 11 players, and we won with 4 or 5 goals, if I don't remember in a wrong way. You have to put the attention of the other players higher, because you won 5-1, and after 2 matches you have to play against with the same team. Maybe you want to say to the team, we have to finish very well.
Keep them alert.
Yes, we have to finish very well this season to take the second title, because for us as sorry, my little dog. For us as team, as a squad, is the last chance to win something together, because next year maybe I go, one player go.
So
the
maybe
player
it was
go
a
away.
mind game, you think? A mind game for his players?
I think yes.
Okay.
I think yes.
And
Let
what
me
happened
ask-
next year? What happened next year in Europe? Why did we fail in Europe next year?
It's difficult for me to say we fail, because we won with Sudieska, then we lost against Karabakh first of 2 matches, and if normally you see the last match we play with Karabakh, if you play 10 times this match you won 9,
Yeah.
and then they keep us away. So, for what I feel, is not a failure. I don't have the chance to finish my work. And the second match in Karabakh, play the team that we training for 1 year and play 5 days
Qualified,
before.
yes.
Yes. So I don't think the new coach is a magician. I think the team is the same that we training since 3 days ago.
Which was the second match was a match which we created 2 chances and won the match. That was it. We didn't do anything else. It was a match which they were playing us. They were having all the chances, and we just created 2 chances and won the match. Let me ask you this: all the players at that time, we brought some good players with good careers. Let's say in the summer. Was it all the coaching staff decision, or there were some players which wasn't the coaching staff decisions?
I don't know.
No clue, huh? Let me ask you this. The current coach of Apoel is Sofronis. Sofronis Avousti. Do you remember Sofronis? He was the coach of Apollonas at that time, if I remember
Yes,
correctly.
I remember.
What is your opinion of him?
For what I study, Apollon is a good coach. I really appreciate him. Also, as he is, the way he spoke in the press conference after the match or before the match, I think is a good profile for Apoel. But the most important thing is to sustain the coach,
To
When you
support
say
the coach,
sustain,
to support.
even
support
when
him.
there are bad times, to stick with
Especially.
the coach.
Especially, I know that it's more simple to change.
So you think
give
Drametzani
shock to the team, but
So you think Drametzani was treated unfairly after the first match against Karabakh? Because you know what happens at Apoel. Apoel is a team, when you are in a team that is successful and has success in Europe, then the fans, at the first failure, they start putting pressure at the board, they start putting pressure at the coaches, they start putting pressure at the players. And maybe they thought that by changing the coach, we had a better chance of qualifying at the second match.
I have to reply what I said before. President is the owner of the club, and he can change in every time. if you want to change, you have to change from the first to the second half. We have only to accept. But if you saw the match,
Yeah, we saw them. I was in the stadium.
you can change. You
Yeah,
can
understand.
change.
What do you think about the facilities at Apple? How was the conditions there? I mean, the training center and everything. Do you think compared to European teams, was it at a very high standard?
It is a very good standard, yes. The training ground is perfect. It's
Okay.
a good center. You have two beautiful field. All you need to work inside, swimming.
So when you were at Apoel, you felt like, I mean, the whole organization was like a good European team standard organization.
Yes.
Okay, that's very
High
important.
level.
High level.
I mean, in all terms.
I feel as a staff, but I think also the player feel the same. You have only to come to the training center and work.
At
No more
that
than this.
time, so how would you compare it with with the first division
Serie
of
A.
Serie A, with Serie A Bondo clubs, the facilities?
Maybe yes.
Maybe a Serie A
Yes.
standard, huh? Okay.
Yes, because I can compare with the second league, Italian second league, Serie B, and I work in Livorno. Apoel was 3 steps higher.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Even from Livorno.
Yes, 3 or 4 steps higher.
Wow.
Wow.
The
So
organization is beautiful. You have one thing that is difficult to reply in the other club. 90% of the people that work for Apoel are Apoel fans
okay.
and push you to give more these things.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, that's
So
important.
let me ask you this: you were working in Italy at your last years? At the
Well,
recent...
last year I didn't work. I received some offer from Albania and Switzerland, but I prefer to stay home, to study, to improve, because when is work you have to you have to analyze the project, what they propose to you. Money are important too.
Yes,
Yes,
definitely.
of course.
So did you keep tabs on Nicolas Ioannou? He was playing in Como, on second division of Italy.
I went to show his match, Como against Frosinone. I spent 5-10 minutes after the match to speak with him. We normally text 1 or 2 each month.
All right.
Yes, he is a very good guy. He's a very good player. I think he have a good season. He had a good season in Italy. I don't know his future.
I think his style fits with Italian football because he's powerful, he's, strong. What do you think?
But you have when you have a player like Nicky, you can play 3 back, and he
Yes.
can do the lateral. He can do the fifth on the left side.
Yes.
He can play with 4 inside and on the lateral.
So he's a flexible player in the systems.
Yes, you can change without making change, and
Yes.
it's so important. I hope he come in Italy again. Maybe I hope to work together one more time.
Yes.
What is his best position? Everybody were discussing at the time because you are. For my opinion, his best position is the left center back on a 3-5-2. This is the position in Apoel that he played his best football. Do you agree with this, or you think that he has a better position than this one?
No, I completely agree, because you have also some technical skills, and he can also inside the pitch. That is a thing normally now you can see from this type of player. They took the ball and they go inside to break some line,
Yes.
some defensive line of the opponents. I think his natural habitat.
Yes. At the time, at the 2018-19 season, it was the last season that Apoel had this great roster. We had great rosters over the years, but it was the last season we had a truly great roster. Δηλαδή, just to remind the people, we had Vaderman as a goalkeeper and Romo
Was great.
coming behind him. We had in the center backs Vouros, Carlao, Nicolas Ioannou, Merkis, which is a great line of center backs, in my opinion. We had wing backs Kajuen and Sue.
Correct. Go. I check. Go.
Yes. Okay. We had Morai, Souza, Zahid in the midfield, and Gentsoglu.
Yes.
And as attacking powers, we had Altamari, we had Nadel, we had Efrem, we had Balong. As I remember,
Bezjak.
I think Balong was as well there, isn't it?
Balon, yes.
Was
Yes.
unbelievable.
Yes. And Bezjak.
And
So
Roman.
let me ask you this: after Apoel, because for me, some of these people, some of these players, they had career years. Like that was the best year for me of Tamari. That was the best year of Nadel. That was the best year of Zahid, of Souza.
No, it
That
wasn't
was
the best year of Zahid. No.
Έκαμε 13 assist, ρε. He had
Yeah,
13
but it wasn't the
assists.
best year. No. He had better years.
All right, in my opinion.
Yes.
And also it was the best year of Ensue. It was the best year of Vouros in Apoel. It was an unbelievable year for him. So what's your opinion of Vouros?
I like him so much. He play very good match with us.
You know, in the last year, he's in Ofi now, in Greece. And there is this website of Esteban Granero, the former player of Osip. Do you know this website? It's an analytics website. And they had an article in about the 10 best analytical players in Greece. And he was third as a center back. And he was the third analytically best player.
Varus was unbelievable because if you look at him, you can't imagine he's a football player.
Yeah,
Yes.
correct.
Jacobo.
He have a brain.
Yeah, he was
born
clever
to-
player.
Born to play football.
Jacobo, let me tell you this. I think that Vaderman was a key player at Apoel because he was one of the few goalkeepers that he could play with the ball on his feet. Am I right? To start the whole progress, the development of the game from the goalkeeper. What do you think? He was very good with the ball in his feet.
I think he's a midfielder. He's not a goalkeeper. He can play with Thomas in the midfielder position.
Oh, he was that good, huh?
We are in a transition now because their role is completely changed from 10 years before. Now they are able to use more feet,
Yes.
but not always goalkeeper are so good now.
Yeah. Vaderman was very good in this. He
Was
was very
very good.
skillful.
Very, very good.
So you can start all your kind of progress, all your attack from the goalkeeper because he knew exactly where to give the ball. He was not just throwing it away.
When you have a goalkeeper like Boy, you have to use him, and for the opponent is more difficult because if I'm Nicky, I can play with him, and you have to make 20 meters run to attack him. 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. You don't go because he never make a mistake. So
Jacobo,
our construction is more clear.
I remember Tramezzani when he was having a bit of a pressure with Zahid, why he's not playing him. One day he played De Vincenti and he said that in his press conference, I love that player. Did he really love that much De Vincenti? Because he was playing him a lot.
Every time we saw him in the training center, he told me about Zaid is plenty of football. He love him so much, but I can't find a player that he doesn't love so much. Every player is a chance to make something important. I think there is not a coach so stupid to don't use one player if he's good, but you have to analyze not only one player. You have to analyze how the team is playing, if it's correct to change something or go in this way because we won 10, 5, 11, 12 matches
So you think
continuously.
he preferred starting with De Vicente because De Vicente was more of a kind of the type of player that he's going to run behind the ball, offer more in the whole system instead of Zahid, you mean?
I think you have to understand that now we don't have to think to starting 11, but we have to understand that one football match is 90 minutes. So our idea is win. Some matches we know that we have to score immediately. Some matches we know that we have to keep the match.
Take it easy.
Yes, and maybe on the last 20 minutes put one player
I
inside
understand.
and make something different that the opponent doesn't expect. It is a mind game. Chess, no? Like chess, chess
Yes.
with the ball.
Yes. So there were some rumors that Altamari may end up in Spain. Do you think that his skill set or his ability matches those highest, let's say, those divisions, like the English division, like the Premier League, like the like Liga, like Serie A? Do you think that he has the ability to play there?
Potentially, yes. Mentally, I don't know. Potentially,
Mentally,
yes.
okay.
Mentally, I don't know. Because to be a striker in this type of league, you told you have to be very, very, very strong, and you have to don't make mistake in front of the door. You have to score.
Yes.
Maybe you have one chance. There are players in this league that with one chance makes 2 goals.
Do you think that
Musa
they
have
say-
to improve on this side.
Yeah, you know what they say about Musa? He's very technically gifted, but he's not very tactically gifted. Sometimes.
Instinctive player,
Yes.
You have to give him 1 or 2
Instructions.
idea,
Okay.
no more than this.
Yeah. And that's
You have to understand the player you have in front. If I go to Musa and say, Musa, you have to do this, 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 and this, he spend all the times of the match to don't mind these 4 instructions,
yes.
and he forget how we have to play. He's instinctive player.
Understand.
Musa, when we defend, come 20 meters inside and stay in this position. Stop.
So
Okay.
do you think that Nadel and Musa are strikers? Their best position is striker?
I think their best position is striker, but it depends when the way you want to use them. If you play 4-4-2, maybe Leo can play lateral.
When you say lateral, you mean on the wing? Let's say left wing.
Yes, wings, yes.
Okay. So because at this year, Leo Nadel came back in Cyprus in Apoel, and he was playing as a left winger, attacking winger in a 4-3-3, and he didn't have a good year, not at all with us. He had 4 assists, 4 goals. He didn't have a good year. Also, the 2019 and 20 year, Altamari was playing on the right wing, not as a striker, and he didn't have a good year also.
I think you have to understand that there are 2 players that have to attack the space.
Yes.
You can. It's difficult for me to play 3-5-2, 4-3-3. If you play 4-3-3 and you always keep the ball, and you have a defensive line on the midfield, so your squad is always in the opponent's
End.
pitch. Leo doesn't have spaces.
Yes.
So maybe when you use him or Musa, you have to stay 20 meters down to create the space for them.
Yes, I understand what you're saying, because we managed to beat Apollo, that Sophronis was the coach that year, 4 times, and all 4 times we are catching him on the counter attack, because Sophronis likes to push a lot in front, so he's giving you spaces to counter attack, and they were thriving. They were thriving on the counter attack, these players.
Every counter attack that I do or that I received are 80 meters run.
Yes.
And then if I keep the ball again, other 80 meters. You have to study how you want to play. Maybe if you want to
So I
play
mean,
for free.
so what I mean is that
Leo-
maybe they were doing better because they were very good in counterattacks because of their speed. When they give them space, these players are very good in space, using the space, because they were fast, they were strong.
I think Musa and Leo in open space kill you every time.
Yes. And they may not be as effective when they have defensive-minded teams against them. That, they are all in front of the goal, and, it's very difficult to penetrate them.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Yes. I agree. But the most important things, I want to be intensive on this focus, is understand the player you have.
Yes.
How can make Matic best season? I have to understand Uros, I have to speak with him, I have to see him in the training center, I have to see him in the previous match, and I have to create the right condition for him. And it is a puzzle, no? Puzzle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Because Uros doesn't have to cover Thomas spaces, and
They have
You
to
have
find
to-
a way to match the players as well, with the one with the other, depending on their
correct.
characteristics.
I think we came in Apoel and Tramezzani start to play with the 4 players back to give continuity to the previous work. But after 3 or 4 matches, we changed 3-5-2.
Because that was better for the kind of players we had at Apoel that period, you think?
Yes,
Yes.
because you have to work during the week to prepare the team. You can change without preparing the team, because they don't follow you in this way. They go in the pitch, they lose, and they don't follow you.
Great.
I think it's normal, no?
Understand.
A couple of months after you were employed by Apoel, the spokesperson of Apoel, Nektarios Perevinos, he said in an interview that Mr. Tramezzani and his team had some intelligent or out-of-the-box tactics coaching methods, let's say, in order to improve the defensive and attacking transitions of the players. Can you tell us those coaching methods or some example of them?
We work strongly on this way, tactically, I think we have 100. I don't know how you say type of work to do in the training.
Systems, you mean?
Yes, system.
Routines, maybe you mean coaching routines, let's say?
Yes.
Okay.
And we can analyze every time how to make the difference. Also studying the opponent, because with Musa maybe it's better attack one side, with Leo another side. No, Uh, but what really I think that you discover how a coach is good when he leave.
Yes.
Because normally press spend all his time to find something that is doing
Find
good.
his weaknesses. Yes.
Because I know that a bad interview sell more copies than a normal interview.
Yes.
And also if we are able to write something negative, we have more in Italy we say contraddittorio, we speak more about this thing.
We have more things
know,
to
no?
say.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yes,
More
that's
viewers will be able to see it. You put a
Yes.
headline which is misleading, out
Yes.
of context, and everybody will see it because Alberto said this or Tramezzani said this.
Yes.
Yes, because you have Instagram, no? You know that the haters
Yeah, of course.
are much more than lovers.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. Even in our comments, you should see our comments. All
If
the
I
fans
put,
of other teams.
If I put one art on your picture, nothing special.
Yes.
If I I put one bad comment, other 10 lions, boom, comment.
Yes, exactly.
And
They will
I
like
know
it,
in
they will comment
Apoel,
also.
in Apoel you have to win. If you win 3-0,
Yeah.
they ask you why we don't win 4-0.
Yes, exactly. That's the mentality of Abuel. But you know, that is because we won, before you came, I think we won 7 straight or 6 straight
No,
before you came in Abuel. Nere?
Yes.
Six. Yes.
6 or 7 straight. And the expectations were sky high. It was, but now it's not like that. Now because it's been 3 years now, we don't get anything, not even a cup. Expectations are not as high.
I think Apoel has a mentality that other teams in Cyprus doesn't have. So at least the mentality is one player
change.
more. Is
So
one
did you like
player more.
Cyprus?
Yes.
How did you find Cyprus?
I stay very well in Cyprus. Too short,
Which is your
but
favorite place? Yeah. Which is
the
your
training
favorite
center.
place? The training center. Workaholic, huh?
because I didn't saw anything till I was there.
Okay,
with
next
the
time
coach-
you come in Cyprus, call us, please.
Okay, with the coach you have to work, and when you finish to work, you have to work.
Yeah.
Tramezzani is like this, huh? Workaholic.
Yes,
Nice.
24
nice.
hours a day.
Great.
Nice. So, Jacopo, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
For your
Much
time,
appreciated.
for the knowledge that you gave us, because we took a lot from you now, about the training methods, about how the system works, how the philosophy works. And we hope to see you again. Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure. Mon Apoel, guys.
Mono
Mono
Apoel.
Abuel.
Always,
Yes, and good luck to you too on your
To your
next step
career,
in your
yes.
career.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I
you very
send
much,
you
Jacopo.
a big hug. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, man. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Have a good day.